Just
mind
because.
if I try it?
No, go for it. Hey guys, welcome to Mad Scientist BBQ. I'm Erica Yoder. Today I'm in the Franklin line. As a matter of fact, I'm first in the Franklin line. This line has grown notoriously long, and as soon as the first customer shows up, we're gonna start cooking a brisket because I wanna see if it's possible to cook a brisket from start to finish, all while waiting in line. So you might be wondering why I decided to cook a brisket while waiting in line at Franklin. And the genesis of this idea was from a few years ago when I went to Franklin BBQ, got in line super early in the morning, and then went inside, had some delicious food. A lot of people in the comments were like, no barbecue is worth waiting in line for that long. I could cook a brisket while you're waiting in line. And so I thought, you know what? Challenge accepted. I'm gonna give it a shot. And so I thought there'll be enough time if I use something like an ugly drum smoker. In this case, I found a pit barrel cooker, and that's what we're using. And I thought, well, I probably can cook a brisket in that time, but is it gonna be of the same quality? Is there a reason why people are waiting in line so long that you could cook a brisket during that time? Yeah, it turns out there is. So the places that have these crazy long lines, the reason the lines are so long is because the quality of what you get there is beyond what most people can be making at home. And in addition to that, the method that they're using to cook it takes a really long time, like 14 hours to cook briskets. So what you get in the end is something that you don't replicate in just a few hours of waiting in line. And kind of a good rule of thumb is if there's a huge line at one of these places, chances are the barbecue is really, really good, probably better than what you're making at home. So I thought, let's do this cook and then we'll compare it to something that people wait in line forever for and see, is there a big difference? Is there a small difference? Is it a big enough difference to make a difference? So stick around and see if I get the brisket cooked and see how it compares to a Franklin brisket. Okay, we're here at Franklin BBQ in the parking lot at a completely unreasonable hour because I have to get here to see how long people are actually waiting in line and if you can cook a brisket in that time. I've resolved that I'm not gonna light the fire until the first customer shows up, because if I have a hot smoker, that takes away part of the time that goes into actually prepping the brisket. I just realized that that thing right there is a natural gas pipeline, so I'm gonna move a little bit further away. I've seen people cook briskets extremely fast on drum smokers. I saw the Blues Hog guys cook a brisket from start to finish in like 3 hours and 45 minutes, blew my mind. So I put it out on Instagram that I was in search of a drum smoker, so thank you Tracy Cortez for hooking us up with a drum smoker. We went to HEB yesterday, we got a brisket, we got some seasoning, we got the Franklin BBQ spice rub, we got some salt and pepper 50-50 mix, and we got, let's see what else. We got some Franklin charcoal and some wood chunks. We got all the stuff that we needed because HEB is awesome. Anyway, we got all that stuff. I had Joe trim it up because he's a barbecue professional. We got it seasoned and it's actually sitting in the truck right now. We're all ready, we're all set to go. So as soon as somebody shows up, we're gonna light a fire and get started. It's a very scientific process to open a bag of charcoal. Couple chunks of post oak. After these coals get lit, and pour them back in, put the grate on, close it up, and let it come up to temperature. Put the brisket on, and we'll see what happens. Big shout out to Made In for sponsoring today's video. I'm a huge fan of the company. They make tremendously good products. And I'm really excited today to share with you a new product that they've come out with. It's the carbon steel griddle and a couple accessories. One of the things I like to do is cook outside. It doesn't produce smell or smoke. Instead of bothering my wife by smoking up the house and making a mess, this is a better option. First of all, it's carbon steel, great cooking characteristics. It's half the weight of cast iron, but equally durable. So if you want something to produce a great sear, if you want to do smash burgers or steaks, you want to fry eggs or bacon, this is the ticket here. So it's really kind of ideal for the kind of cooking that I like to do. Also, they have this press. It's ergonomic. It has a significant amount of weight to it. So if you need to press stuff down, this is going to be super helpful. One other thing is they have a cover for this griddle. It's going to trap heat. So if you're on the quest to make the world's greatest grilled cheese sandwich and you're good at getting the crisp, but not great at getting the cheese melted, this thing is going to trap heat. You just set it on top. And so the steam that would normally just kind of be blown away by the wind is going to be trapped in there. And if you want to do something like lightly basted eggs, you can do that too. This griddle is safe up to 1200 degrees. It's wide enough for 2 burners. So there's a lot of versatility here. With Made In cookware, they're making professional quality cookware for the at-home chef. There are 3 Michelin-starred restaurants that use made-in cookware, and unlike most of the other equipment that they have in their kitchen, this is something that you can have in your kitchen at home. So click on the link in my description so you can go over to Made In. You get a discount on their products. Check out all the great stuff they have on their website, and make sure you check out this griddle. So click on that link, use that discount. So here's our brisket. Let's put it on. We're gonna go fat side down, breaking all the rules. And now we go join the line. I think I told you about this, but I saw the Blues Hog guys cook a brisket from start to finish in like 3 hours, 45 minutes. Insane. Blew my mind. And I think that they went fat side down, and then when they wrapped, they went fat side up.
The high school deal,
yep.
They literally get it at like 6 a.m. and they have to turn it in at 3. So we can usually get it done in about 4.5 hours, somewhere in there, and then let it coast.
If we get 4.5 hours, we're going to be done at 10:30, which means we'll have succeeded. I'm excited. Either I'm going to feel like a genius at the end of this or a moron.
Yeah, so what temp are you going to try to wrap at? Because you got to go, on this, you can't really go by feel. You got to go by temp and just let it rip.
Yeah, I was going to try to get it to 175 maybe, and then wrap in foil.
Totally wrap in foil. And
yeah, I was just 100% crutch it because it's just about getting it done.
Yeah.
I was told that these things can kind of get hot spots, so it's a good idea to rotate them. So 30 minutes after we put it on, I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees, and another 30 minutes, 90 degrees more, etc., until we're ready to wrap, and then I think I'm just going to leave it alone. But let's see how we're doing. Wow, it actually looks pretty good already. Feels warm. That wasn't 90 degrees, was it? I'll do almost 90 with the grate there. It's got good color already. Internal temperature is probably like 65. So we got a ways to go. But I think we're going to do it. I believe in it. As you can see, it's a lot brighter. So we'll get our first real look at this brisket, and I'll rotate it another 90 degrees. Ah, not bad. Starting to tighten up because it's cooking. A little bubbling fat. So not bad for like an hour in. I like this. Oh my God, so we'll go like this. Ugh. All right, so it's cooking pretty fast, and it looks like the edge of the flat might be getting a little too hot. So I think I'm going to insert one of the rebar bars through there to maybe slow down the cooking just a little bit. All right, it's 9 o'clock. It's been on for about 3 hours now. So we're going to temp it and see where it is, and we're probably going to have to wrap it at this point because we can't really wait any longer. But let's see. Look at that action. 180. That's unbelievable. 172 there. Over here it'll be hotter. 187. That's crazy. Can't believe that. Maybe we could just let it rock, unwrap the whole time. It's getting a little crusty though. All right, I'm gonna go wrap this at the tailgate because I'm sophisticated. All right, goes back on. And it's locked in. Done. To wrap it, we kept it really simple. We used some aluminum foil because we want to go as fast as possible, and use some Wagyu beef tallow because it's delicious. So it's been about an hour since we wrapped it. So it's the moment of truth. We're going to check this temperature. All right. Can't see anything in the smoke. 201, 202. Feels a little tight still. That feels great. That's like 208. I think this needs about another 10 minutes. So we're gonna come back in 10. We'll pull it off and let it rest and slice it at the last second. So we shall see. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes. So total cook time about 4 hours and 10 minutes. Let's see. That feels good now. That guy's done. Let's take it off. Woo. 4 hours and 10 minutes. Perfection? Probably not. I put it in the very sophisticated warming oven, AKA the bed of the truck, because very sophisticated today. Put it back there. We'll let it rest until the last second that we can, and then we'll slice into it, because right now it's about 210, which means that it's got to drop a significant amount, and we don't want to do it too quickly or else it can tighten up again. We want to do it as gently as possible, so it is what it is. So I'm going to let this burn out because I have to load this thing up again, and yeah, we'll check back in probably about 40 minutes. We'll slice it and we'll go in.
From the restaurant, just FYI.
Yeah, don't blame them for this. All right, so we have our 4-hour brisket and our 14-hour brisket. So we're gonna have to try them. Before these oxidize too badly, let's take a look at some comparison brisket slices. First, this is the 4-hour brisket. Okay, you see the fat's rendered pretty well, but the fat's kind of been burned away. It doesn't have that deep kind of translucent yellow look that we're really after. Also, all the seam fat is still pretty white, so it doesn't have that kind of melted away texture. So it's not gonna be the same. Yeah, here we go. Okay, here we see the kind of dark, translucent looking fat. That's the result of a 12, 14-hour cook where you're really rendering the fat down for a long time. You're not subjecting it to super high heat to kind of scorch it away. Also, the seam fat has cooked down a lot more, and this fat in the point muscle itself has rendered a lot more. So with the 4-hour brisket, you see those big kind of seams of fat. Here it's all kind of liquidy. Even though the first brisket, the 4-hour brisket, was still a lot hotter when sliced. So we have some obvious physical differences. On the top side of this brisket, the Franklin brisket, it's a lot darker. It's just the result of building up smoke for many more hours. And the smoke ring is thicker, also partly because it's cooked at a lower temperature. It's not going from 0 to 100 immediately. So I'm excited to try these back to back. There's so much fat just on my hands. I'm gonna try a rib and then jump right into the brisket because I don't wanna wait any longer, but I wanna try one of these ribs. So, pretty good looking rib. On the board, they just glisten and shine. I feel like I could just stop there. That was phenomenal. Pretty good, right? All right, I'm gonna try the 4-hour brisket. It's gonna tear a chunk off. So we did get to tenderness, but it took us to like 211 degrees to get there. So if we took a regular offset smoker brisket to 211 degrees, it would be mush on the cutting board, especially when I'm slicing it at like 190 or whatever it is. Kind of tastes like a burger. It's nice. It's a completely different flavor profile than I'm used to. Fat on the outside is rendered well. It's got a decent bark, but let's try this. So we have the Franklin brisket, we'll try that. The fat just melts. That's the difference. The fat melts. How's it going?
All right over here, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have our brisket imposter, the 4-hour brisket.
You know, I caught a weird smell in here. It definitely does not smell like Franklin.
Yeah.
Looks pretty okay though. Boy, it sure cooked fast.
Yeah.
It's probably look good though.
Oh, okay. I think it tastes more like a burger taste, just
You mind
because.
if I try it?
No, go for it.
Seasoned well.
It was Franklin rub, by the way.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting texture, though.
Yeah.
It's like tender, but not like the pellet tender.
I think it has to do with the muscle fibers themselves not having enough time to sweat out water, so they're still kind of tight. Whereas this has lost enough water to where the muscle fibers kind of gently lay.
Judging by the food costs, it's lost almost all of its water.
Yeah, it could be.
Well done.
Oh, well, thank you.
Pretty darn good. Most people would be really happy with that.
Well, they probably haven't had this brisket then.
You never know. But I think that's really good.
Oh, well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Well played. Well,
Well, thank you, sir. So this brisket, though, you just eat it. It just melts. If I'm choosing brisket, 11 times out of 10, I'm choosing this one. But, I mean, if somebody served this to me, I'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, because you go over to a friend's house, somebody made it. I'd be like, okay,
Yeah,
good job.
Yeah.
Good try.
I mean, he's having himself. Most people would be happy with that.
Yeah. Notice what he didn't say. He didn't say, I would be happy with that. Right? That's the difference.
The things he didn't say, right.
Yeah, it's just about what you're used to, the flavor profile you're after, and the texture you want. So if somebody's doing competition barbecue, trying to get it just done immediately to keep maximum water in there, yeah. But to me, I would make a meal out of this 100 times out of 100 compared to this. Yeah. The smoke flavor that's on the 4-hour brisket is the flavor of like fat burning in the fire. So like what a burger smells like when it's cooking, that's what this tastes like. With this Franklin brisket, the fat is cooked down so well that it's almost like cotton candy in your mouth. There's a sweetness to it, even though I don't think they really put any sugar in their rub, at least not very much if they do. But it's sweet, it's smoky, it just disintegrates. It's everything you want to be able to accomplish when you learn how to cook a brisket. When you decide, I want to make a brisket, this is what you're after, and they've achieved it. And I've eaten at some great places here in Central Texas. This is the best brisket that I've had anywhere in Austin. Sometimes when you go back to a place, there's an element of diminished excellence because you built it up in your head. It's like, oh, that was a magical experience. This is one of those that it lives up to every bit as good as I remember it being. There's a reason why this guy's super famous. There's a reason why people wait in line for many hours. And there's a reason why you can't cook a brisket in 4 hours that matches this in terms of quality. So, I'm gonna eat the rest of this food. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I would encourage you definitely, if you're able, come get in line. Being in line is part of the experience. You make friends with the people around you, and then you'll go and you'll tell all your friends, yeah, one time I waited in line for 4 hours to get Franklin brisket. It was incredible. You should do it too if you get the chance. I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm gonna do some work on this tray. I'm gonna take all the leftovers home with me, and I'm gonna put them in the fridge, and then probably in a couple hours, I'm gonna eat them again. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Mad Scientist BBQ. I'll see you guys next time.